Rayshard Brooks shot in the back as he fled police in Atlanta, Georgia. The officer who killed him is charged with murder and 10 other offenses.
The possible sentences for a felony murder conviction would be life without parole, or the death penalty.
As coronavirus cases rise again in China, we visit the wet markets blamed by some as the original source and consider the latest theories. In exclusive analysis, we disclose the real global death toll from coronavirus. A bombshell allegation from John Bolton. He claims President Trump asked China's leader to help him win re-election. And a leading theatre producer warns some of the biggest productions will not reopen in London's West End this year.
Beer gardens and small shops could soon be reopening in Scotland as the First Minister prepares to announce whether lockdown restrictions will be eased further.
The Oxford College, at the centre of protests over a controversial statue of Cecil Rhodes, votes for it to be removed.
Travel, quarantine and Brexit on the agenda as the Prime Minister welcomes the French President to London for a ceremony to commemorate the wartime alliance.
Good morning. As thousands in the tourism industry say they need a date for reopening, I'm at one of the biggest holiday parks in the Lake District, where business should be booming, but all of these caravans are empty.
And the Premier League is back after 3 months away, and the return was marked by a moment of solidarity with the Black Lives Matter movement as players took a knee straight after kick-off.
Thursday morning, let's have a look at the front pages for you right now. Starting with The Guardian, reporting on the story that broke last night. And the governors of an Oxford University college agreed to remove a statue of the mining tycoon Cecil Rhodes. They also have a picture of Aston Villa taking on Sheffield United as the Premier League restarted.
The Daily Mail's main story is about a study which suggests that vitamin D could be a valuable weapon in the prevention of coronavirus. It also devotes some space to the Cecil Rhodes statue.
A Telegraph has a picture of a different statue, Winston Churchill, who had his protective boarding removed. That was all in advance of President Macron's visit today. It leads on a warning from Prince Charles about the effect of the pandemic on young people.
And the Scotsman reports that face masks could soon be made compulsory, face coverings on trains and buses in Scotland.
Scotland's First Minister, Nicola Sturgeon, will announce a further relaxation of the country's lockdown rules later today.
Scotland has been more cautious, some would say, than the rest of the UK in easing restrictions. The move is likely to mean that shops selling non-essential goods can reopen and people could also be allowed to meet another household indoors for the first time since March.
An Oxford University College has backed calls to remove a statue of the Victorian imperialist and its former student Cecil Rhodes, following mounting pressure from anti-racism campaigners. Royal College's governing body also decided to set up an independent commission to look into issues surrounding the Rhodes legacy, which funds scholarships for overseas students.
The pub chain Green King and the insurance company Lloyds of London have apologised for past links to the slave trade. Both firms said they'd also donate to charities representing black and minority ethnic groups. One of Green King's founders owned plantations in the Caribbean, whilst Lloyds once insured slave ships.
The French President Emmanuel Macron will ask for a review of the UK's 14-day quarantine rule when he meets the Prime Minister in London today. It's the first face-to-face meeting between Boris Johnson and another world leader since the coronavirus restrictions were imposed. President Macron is in the UK to mark the 80th anniversary of Charles de Gaulle's BBC broadcast, urging the people of France to resist the Nazi occupation. It's also his first foreign trip since the pandemic began.
There will be catastrophic consequences if there isn't immediate investment in the care sector. This is according to care leaders in England. A report by the Association of Directors of Adult Social Services says the pandemic has exacerbated an existing crisis. The government says it has taken significant steps to support the care sector, providing more than £3.2 billion to local authorities.